Alrighty, we are live. Welcome everybody to another Grizzly Books True Crime episode on this lovely Saturday. We have an amazing guest. We have Alicia from Dead On Podcast, who is also a digital marketing expert and Aussie American. I love that phrase. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, we're all excited to have you on. I know you've got some big fans in the true crime community as well. You've got an amazing TikTok as well, am I right?
It's getting there. I wasn't sure at first because it's not, being 35, a little bit older, you're like, oh, this is a little strange.
But it's so fun. Old for TikTok, right? According to what they say, when they're like, if you were born beyond 1994.
Yes.
On TikTok, they say that. That's so funny. I just want to quickly, I'm looking the wrong way. I just want to make sure I'm on the right side of the camera so that I look at you properly. There you go.
Yay, here I am.
Alrighty, so my first question is, where did you grow up and where are you now?
All right. Well, I was born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio, in the United States. I'll make it very specific. And then I lived there until 2010. I met my now husband when he was in town on business because one of the head offices was in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So, he came to town and we just happened to meet. And then we did the long distance thing. And then I moved here in July of 2010 to Sydney, Australia. Yeah.
So he is Australian and went to Cincinnati for business. And then you met. Okay. Well, that's such a cool story. Very different places, right? Very different culture and vibe and everything.
A little bit. I think because I'm from the Midwest. The Midwest is pretty relaxed and chilled out. So I think in that way it's similar because Aussies are really chilled out.
Yeah. I've only been to Sydney one time. I've been there one time. Yeah.
When did you go?
I was on the way to Fiji to some seminar with Tony Robbins, which I wouldn't really recommend. It's very expensive for fasting for 5 days, but I went there on the way. And so I just got to spend one day there. Yeah. So we've got Sydney behind us here, obviously to honor our guest from Sydney now. Do you consider yourself now an Australian?
I think I do because I've lived here more of my adult life than I have in the US.
Yeah. And you still visit or no?
Yes. The last time I was there was 2019, just because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Usually we go back every year, but.
Yeah, I was going to say, when I asked that, I'm like, or not. We're not traveling too much right now. So Lyndon, Murdered Bedtime with Lyndon says, good morning, Gisela. Good morning, Alicia.
Good morning, Lyndon.
Yeah, good morning. It's so nice to have you here.
Yes, we're glad you can join us.
Yeah, that is awesome. So, when did your love of true crime begin?
I think the first case that really blew my mind had to have been the Black Dahlia because I remember my dad and I would go to the grocery on the weekend and we'd usually go kind of early and do our big weekly shop. And one of our traditions was I'd just sneak stuff into the shopping trolley. And one of the things he would see me do it, but I'd slyly start. And one of the things was some creepy little magazine and it had the Elizabeth Shore case in it.
Oh, damn.
So I don't think if he knew that kind of stuff was in his 12-year-old daughter's reading material, probably not so good. But that was the first case where I'm like, this is wild.
And that really was, right? Damn. Yeah. So, okay. How old were you when you discovered that case?
I think I was probably about 12. So.
Oh, yeah. Wow. And that's when true crime, right? The true crime mind began, the bug bit.
Yes. It kicked off with one of the biggest ones. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Let me just put this on here for anyone who's got questions or say, oh, geez, got questions, ask them anytime. Because I know guests also love to interact and ask you questions. So when was the moment that you decided to start expressing your interest in true crime? Because I know a lot of us loved it for a long time. And then there was this moment when we decided, I'm going to put this out there now. So when was that for you?
Well, that had to have been, I want to say, just over a year ago. Because I have to give credit to Em, who was my former co-host.
Yeah.
Because she was the one who was like, let's start this pod. Let's do it. So I have to give her all the credit for that.
Oh, damn. Okay. But you're doing amazingly now. That Emily, for anyone who doesn't know, was Alicia's co-host on the podcast, co-founder, right?
Yes.
And she's there for the first 26 episodes or so, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then she moved on. Some people did ask me that I should ask you this. What happened to Emily?
I think it was getting just a bit much for her, just with true crime being so dark.
Yeah.
I think she's always loved true crime, but I think it's different from when you're either reading a book or watching a documentary and then like diving in and having to think about it and write about it and talk about it.
I know, right? We know how that feels.
So I think it was just a bit much for her.
Okay, well, that's totally respectable. I actually really respect people when they can say like, whoa, I need to take a step back. You know, because that abyss, I call it the abyss. I'm sure we all do, but it's like when you go in there, it's a really dark place. It can really affect you, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I've also had to do that with the books now. That's way too deep, man. It's like eat and breathe and sleep true crime. Do you also have nightmares sometimes?
I'm trying to think if I feel like I had one and I can't even remember it, which is
okay.
Strange.
That's great. Your brain has blocked it out.
Yeah.
It was like we don't want any of that. Damn. Yes. I'm sure when you were 12 too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Black Dahlia, that must have really brought up some thoughts, dreams, right?
Yeah. But apparently I sleep like a baby to this day. So obviously it didn't do anything too damaging to me.
Yeah, exactly. You've got a very healthy way of expressing it too. Like really honoring the victims, going deep dive, but then being able to do like self-care and take care of yourself really well, right? Yeah. You seem like a very balanced person.
I think that's a good way. You can't see them and I don't want to move the camera around too much, but one of my cats is right here.
Cute.
And he's all sprawled out.
Oh, cute.
I don't know where the other one is, but that helps because I'm like, they usually sit either side of me when I'm working, and then I can just reach over and pat them. Like,
oh man, animals help so much, right? I agree with that. Totally. I wouldn't make it either without my cat around.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just want to see if I'm missing any comments. Hold on. There's a couple of different screens. Here we go from Lyndon. What was Alicia's most harrowing case? Her Alison Buerta one was tough to listen to.
That one was really tough. That was actually, I debated even covering that one because I'm like, this case is, you can't not talk about the horrible things that happened to her and cover it. But I'm like, this is like one of the most medically graphic.
All right. I can't believe she survived that. That was incredible. Like, whoa. Like you were looking backwards at one point, like, what? It blows my mind.
Yes. Can you imagine that? Because your head's just falling back.
I know. It's so hectic. And her will to live, her fight was just incredible.
I don't know that I could have done that.
Yeah, I don't know either. Ooh, that case. Oh, man. But
that one was really heavy. I find cases involving children really heavy.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I really have to do the self-care thing because I'm like, this is horrible.
True. Yeah, like really, I mean, obviously all humans are vulnerable and no one should be a victim, but like children, oh my word. Now you know why I talk about Chris Watts on this channel.
Yes.
Like children.
That case.
And people often ask me also to cover like all these, child cases. It's just too difficult. That one, I agree. So would that be your most harrowing case for Lyndon?
I think that one was really tough. I think that one's probably my most harrowing.
Yeah. Lyndon, feel free to mention what your most harrowing case is as well.
Yes,
we want to hear. Even though I've asked you before, say it again. I want to hear. Right. So what is the name of your podcast and how did you come up with it?
It's Dead On. A true crime podcast. If you look for us on social or look for me on social. Yeah. And again, I have to give credit to Em because she was the one once we decided we wanted to do the podcast. Yeah. We both went away and we were just writing down a bunch of different names. And she came back and she had two that were really good. And I'm like, these are way better than anything I came up with. So then the first one was Full Dark. And then I started Googling. I'm like, I'll look and see if, there's other productions out there called that. And there was. But they weren't active, but I think they moved to YouTube. So then I'm like, okay, I don't want to use somebody else's name. And then I Googled Dead On and I couldn't find anything. So I'm like, perfect. And I love it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Dead On is a great name. What did I ask you? Oh yeah. How did you come up with it? Okay. So Dead On is obviously because dead on. Right? Yeah. It's facts upon facts.
That's what Em was thinking. She's like, we're just telling the cases straight. We're giving it straight to you. We're giving it to you dead on.
Yeah, I love that. And it's a very memorable name as well. Really love it. What's up, Claire? Claire says, "Hey, girl, I'm here. Carve it up, Claire."
Hi, Claire. Carve it up.
Yeah, carve it up. There you go. Oh, Claire's gonna love that. All right. So, what are your top 3 cases? You don't have to name 3, but I say 3 because otherwise it's difficult if I say your top case. But top 3 that grip you every time. You know, one that in a conversation it can just like suck you in.
Yes. I think one of the cases that really grabbed me, because they all grabbed me in different ways.
Yeah.
But I think I covered her name's Monica Chetty, and it's a local one to Sydney. It happened, was it 2014? Somewhere between 2014 and 2016.
Yeah.
And it just stuck with me for a lot of reasons. For one, Monica, she had a family, she had kids, she was a nurse. And then she kind of lost her way. She got addicted to gambling, and she ended up on the street, and she kind of like had to relinquish custody to the father of her kids. And then she met somebody who was taking advantage of her, and they were burning her with acid.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So just the addiction, obviously the addiction, you feel really sorry that someone gets sucked into that, and then their life is ruined by it.
Yeah.
That was really heavy.
Like next level ruin, right? And I'm sure there's some victim blaming that goes on in there, which I think you also hate as much as I do, right?
Yes, I hate that so much.
Oh my, when they're like, yeah, well, she was out there gambling and just taking drugs. Like, hello.
Yeah, she couldn't help it.
Man, that Yorkshire Ripper case, that's what I was gonna write about. I just can't. It makes me so angry because it's the same thing. I'm like, but they were out on the street. They were like walking out. Like, I just can't.
I can't either. I get so angry.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay that they were sex workers. They're allowed to be. I
Yes.
mean, at the time, I know it wasn't legal there.
Yeah. But still, it doesn't mean, oh, yeah, that's why he whacked them. Like, oh my gosh, that just gets me too. Okay, so is that's your one case that grips you every time? Any others?
Yes. So that one definitely gets me. What else really gets me? Another one, it was the first case that was in the news when I moved here.
Oh, yeah.
And it was about a little girl named Kaisha Whippert. And she, her parents reported her missing. But then as the police started looking around, trying to ask neighbors if they'd seen her, everyone was like, well, we haven't seen her in about a month.
Damn, okay.
And that's never a good sign, because she's like, oh, yeah, she's been here. She didn't disappear a month ago. I'm just reporting her missing. I just woke up and she was gone.
Oh, no.
Turns out it was the parents. It was the mother, her own mother.
This is reminding me of Casey Anthony and a little bit of this ongoing Summer Wells case. Am I right? Like, oh my word, it's so hectic. So at least really they reported her. Yeah, that is so. Again, it's like a child case, right? It's so terrible. And then they found out, obviously, it was way more sinister, right?
Yes. That part was so horrible. That was the first case that I was like openly weeping while we were recording.
Yeah. Oh man. Don't you hate it when that happens?
Yeah.
It happens sometimes. It happens. Oh man. But it's totally appropriate. So Lyndon said, I was watching the Chris Newsom and Shannon, am I saying it right? Shannon Christian case earlier. That was very upsetting. I've never looked into that. I will look into it. Claire said it's definitely devastating. So I will have a look at that. I'm assuming it's like a British case, guys. Am I right? Ooh, the right shoe is here. Debbie, it's like it's like Debbie? 6 a.m. Good morning to you.
Oh my gosh, good morning. Oh, I hope you have a coffee.
Yeah. I hope the coffee's real strong. Oh my word, it's so nice to see you guys here. All the OGs, right? Okay, so this sort of leads into what I just started. So once you've done a deep dive on the research for covering a case, do you find that it has affected your mental health in any way? And if so, what do you do to recover?
I think the main things, it's really helpful. So my computer chair has 2 chairs on either side with blankets, and the cats sit either side of me while I'm working. So if I'm just feeling really stressed out, I can reach over and pat Muffin's right here. You can't see him.
No, so cute, Muffins.
Move it a little bit.
Yeah, let's see Muffins. Oh no, so cute. Oh,
he's such a good boy.
Adorable. Oh, no.
So they sit either side of me. That helps. And then usually in the afternoon, I'll go for a walk, and just being out in nature, because I go down by the lake and walk through the trees. I'm like, okay, I feel a lot better now.
It helps, but do you also feel like I feel like I love walking in nature, but then I've still got the true crime mind, right?
The paranoia. Oh yeah, I'm always looking around.
Literally, always got an exit plan, and like going to the lake. Someone's
Probably because
catching. Yeah, going to.
they're not gonna chase you into the lake, are they?
No. Even at the ocean, if like I'm alone at the beach, I'm like, if anything happens, I'm going straight into the ocean. Oh my word! But yeah, nature time and animals, it helps so much, right?
Mm.
What are they saying to us? I reckon dawn has something to do with summer, possibly. Great to see you here. Debbie says, I woke up early to hear Alicia. I'm so excited. Yeah, 6 a.m.
So nice.
6 a.m. on a Saturday after a whole week of work. Oh my word, Debbie. You're the best.
I can't believe you did that. We're so glad to see you
yeah,
here.
that is so amazing. Yeah, oh my word, that is amazing. So I just want to see if there's any other banners I could put here. I just want to have I got your name on there? Hold on, here we go. There, guest. We know who the guest is, but there you go. So out of all the episodes you've done, well, I think we spoke about this. Which one was the most challenging to cover? I think you. Oh well, go ahead. Yeah.
Let me think about. I think the first case that I did was Anita Cobby, and that was another local one in Sydney. But that happened the year we were born.
Okay.
So Em and I were still both, co-hosting, and that was really tough because that case was it was a huge Sydney case that made everybody so upset because Anita was just a lovely person. She did a lot of charity work, and she was a nurse, and she was really family oriented.
Yeah.
And the people that killed her, it was horrible. And so I think that one was a little bit like that really sucked me in because that was my first case and it was really heavy.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Yeah. So that does sound challenging. Also to cover it, to dig for all that information when it's so difficult. And even when there's so much information out there to structure it, right, for an episode. Always a challenge. Let's see. Debbie says it's 6 a.m. on a Saturday. I set my alarm. And Lyndon, you've been so good. Did all my chores well early so I could sit down and relax. Oh, no. And listen to Alicia. That's so cute.
Oh my gosh, bless.
Yes.
That's so sweet.
Everyone's so excited to see you on here.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. And what? Okay, yeah. Everyone is excited. I could just see the comments lighting up. Claire, I will ask Alicia that just now. I don't know. Let me ask now. What does Alicia think about? I never know how to say it. Is it Michael or Michelle Vaughan, the little 5-year-old boy gone missing in Fruitland? I still need to look into that. I don't know if you know anything about it.
I don't think I know about it either.
We got to check it out.
That was really anticlimactic because I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, well, what we think is, I don't know. Sorry, man, but we got to look at that. Claire, I know you asked that before as well. I got to look into that as well. Damn.
I'll be Googling, Claire.
Yeah. Yeah. You know how it goes. If someone asks you a true crime question, do you also want to just Google it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's always like, wait a minute. Didn't pick up on that one. So we will have a look at that and let you know later, maybe on Instagram.
Yeah.
So
we'll do that.
Yeah, go find Alicia, Dead On Podcast already, Claire. You can chat there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so have you ever intended to cover a case and then change your mind during the research process and gone another way?
I actually haven't. There was one case that I almost did it, and it was a bit for the same reasons as Alison Boto, where I was just like, this is really intense because her case was just horrific.
Yeah. Okay, so but you still pulled through. That's amazing.
Yeah, I did pull through. I thought about it because I'm like, this is just so graphic. But then I feel kind of like a jerk to Junko because I'm like, her story deserves to be heard.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, exactly. Totally understand that. Yeah, sometimes the writer can be so rough. Oh my word. What does Lyndon say? I just got to eat I got eat to send breakfast, but I had to put my work corner instead of home. What are we saying? Are you eating breakfast, Lyndon? Sending it to your house? That is awesome. Okay, so I think it's genius that you offer your scripts or your articles, like in the form of articles, right, on your website. What made you decide to do that?
You know what? I actually have been thinking about doing that because at the moment I kind of just do a blurb. Like I have an episode webpage for each of my episodes.
Yeah.
And I have a blurb on there. But I have been thinking about adding more written content to it.
Yeah, I always find like podcasters, you guys write amazing scripts. You know, if I'm gonna write anything, as you know, I just want to put it. If I'm gonna write, I want to put it in a book because I'm like, this was hectic. This was to write something. So you should totally. But I already saw you like write quite a lot. You say read the article. I mean, it looks amazing. That's just such a great thing to do, so that people can read it if they want to, or they can listen to it. You've also got a photo gallery and sources and interesting facts about a case that you've covered, which is brilliant. So what are some of the ways that people can support the show? Because you do incredible amounts of hard work.
Oh, thanks. At the moment, I recently started a Patreon, so I was pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
I release a bonus episode on there every month.
Damn. Okay.
I've got 3 different tiers. I've got a 5, a 10, and a 20.
Okay.
And well, that's AUD, so it's a little bit cheaper for everybody else.
Yeah.
We're not at parity. But yeah, that's been fun. So, yeah, one of the biggest features is a bonus episode. So I'm doing 5 episodes a month.
Damn. Oh my word. So guys, check out, I've got a link to Alicia's website in the description box here. So if you want to go check that out and you want to check out the Patreon tiers, please go do that. Are you also on Buy Me a Coffee or no?
I'm not yet, but what do you think? Do you like Buy Me a Coffee?
Yeah, it's so easy because you know, people don't need to make an account or anything. They can go over there, they can use PayPal, credit cards, whatever they need, and just buy you coffees. 1 coffee, 5 coffees, 20 coffees. Bring the coffees. Nice. We love the coffees.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, and they've got little, like, I don't know what you call them. I think you would know better because you know digital marketing, but like widgets or little things you could put on your website with a link, which makes it really easy as well.
Yeah.
Then everyone can buy you coffees too. But for now, guys, go check out Alicia's Patreon. Definitely the tiers. I always like seeing people's tier names and all the different things you get. That's awesome, right?
That was pretty fun coming up with tiers, I must admit.
Yeah. What are yours called? I can't remember now.
Mine are Dead Set.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, I have to keep looking because
right.
I know that. What is it? Dead Set. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. But yeah,
no, it's all good. They're all there. People can go check it out. But I always like seeing all the different names people come up with for these Patreon tiers.
Yes, they are fun.
Yes. So let's see what else I got here. So how did you and Emily meet? Are you both from Sydney, or are you both there, or how did you guys meet?
So we both worked at a restaurant in Cincinnati called Deshae's American Tavern, and we were both hostesses. I think we were 16 or 17.
Okay.
When we started working there, and that's how we met.
Okay. And they started talking true crime, right up the bat.
Yeah, and then we've known each other for over half our lives.
Damn.
We've lived all different places because I, moved over here in 2010, and she moved to New York from Cincinnati, and now she's in New Orleans. But we're making it work.
Oh my word, that is so amazing. Okay. Wow, those meetups must be so fun, right? If you can, once we travel again, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, that's an awesome backstory to the podcast and everything. Does she still listen to the podcast?
I think she hasn't listened to much true crime lately because she was finding it a bit. Yeah, because I just caught up with her. We spoke on the phone for like 3 hours.
Yeah. Okay, wow.
Yeah, because we hadn't caught up in a while, and so we had to do a really big catch up, and she was just like, I need to catch up on it. I'm sorry. But she was just like, I just needed a break from true crime for a while.
It makes sense, right? It makes sense. It's totally respectable. And if anyone is listening and watching, just know if you feel like that ever, it's totally okay to take a break. 100% fine. Yeah. I see some people are like really hard on themselves in the true crime community. If they do need to take a break or something, they're like, oh no, I'm so sorry. Like I got to take even a week off or whatever. But it's totally necessary sometimes, right?
It definitely is.
Okay, let's just see. Okay, they're having a chat about the Summer Wells case. That's cool. You guys keep it going in the comments. How often do you release your episodes, and where all can listeners find your podcast?
I am doing weekly on Fridays, which is 8 p.m. Sydney time, which is coincidental because we got on at 8 p.m.
Oh, yes. Yep.
So weekly, 8 p.m. on Fridays, I schedule the episodes for. And And then the bonus one I do on the first of the month on Patreon. And where am I? I think I'm streaming everywhere you love to listen. So most of my listeners do Apple Podcasts, but I'm on Google Podcasts. I'm on Stitcher.
Spotify, you there? I saw you there. Spotify. That's where I followed you. Yeah.
Yes. I thought it would be easier to have. I've got a web page on my website that's I think it's called Listen Now, and you can find a whole list.
Yeah. So go there, guys. Wherever your favorite places to listen, it's probably there. I've had a look at the list as well. There's a lot of places to listen to it.
And I even have a button where if you can't find the one that you like to listen, you can email me and say, hey, I want to get on this one. And then if I'm not already on it, then...
Oh, my word. That is so awesome. So you hear that? You got to go do that. Go to the link is right there.
Try to make it easy for you.
Yeah, that's nice, though. You definitely have the listener and the viewer in mind, right?
Yeah.
Very nice. High levels of empathy, am I right?
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself an empath or no? I know that's a weird question, but like... I find that a lot of people drawn to these true crime things, either they're not at all, or they really are empaths, right?
Yeah. Actually, so I kind of wondered that, but then I was in like a few different support groups and the people in the support group said, are you an empath? Or did you just experience trauma as a result of the trauma? You pay attention to the subtext and what people say and what people don't say. And you pick up on nonverbal cues and you read people. So it's not an empath as such, but I think you clock.
Speaking my language.
Yeah.
Because that's the same. Like, at first, even in therapy, it was like big empath, but then it's like, or all that trauma teaching you to really read even micro body language, what people say, how they say it, what the whole time, analyzing. And then your intuition really grows because of that experience. Yep. Okay, so they're talking. I don't think you can see the comments unless I put them there, but they're having a good chat about the Summer Wells case. You guys have fun. Keep it going. If you have any questions for Alicia, you can ask. So, well, it's not a question. I'm like, I wrote down, talk about serial killers not being hot, but because I just know that you're on the same page there. There's not too many of us. It's like you and me and Angel from Crime of the Truest Kind, like, all out on like serial killers are not hot. I loved your Ted Bundy TikTok video.
Yes.
It's so good.
Well, it does my head in when I see that because I'm like, imagine being one of the victim's family members and someone's frothing all over Richard Ramirez. I'm like, that's not
I know, right? It's so weird how they can like compartmentalize that. Like, wow, they're so strong. No, they're not. They're really not. They're really not. They're quite weak, quite a bunch of cowards, and not even if it was just physical, they're not even. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I really don't. Because even if they were physically attractive, everything that they did would just...
Yeah, I know. That's so disgusting, right? Oh, no. No, we are not fans of that here. So I've made that little stand also on this channel because I see fans sometimes come up. One person was like, I'm a fan of Casey Anthony. I just love her voice. And I'm like, okay. No. Like, we got to shut this down. Like, we got to shut this down right now. Oh, no. Serial killers, just so y'all know, we believe not hot.
No.
Let's see who else is in ours. Dorothy Swan says, hello, ladies. Well, hello, Dorothy. Nice to see you.
Hi, Dorothy.
And here's a question again from Lyndon saying, what case made Alicia most frustrated or angry?
A recent one that I did that made me really upset, and it was a short one because there was so little information about it. So Susan Keeley disappeared from Bellingen, New South Wales on, what was it? I think it was 1981. I get all my dates mixed up because I'm always reading dates every week. But she just completely disappeared. She's still missing, and they have really no idea. There's some rumors about what happened to her.
Oh,
but
man.
The police didn't really investigate it very thoroughly at all. There was a coronial inquest, and the coroner was like, he basically said this case is woefully inadequate.
Oh my gosh, that would make one angry, right? That is like when the police themselves botch the case, like seriously.
It makes you so mad. But then, as you said, like the Yorkshire Ripper case, she used drugs, and there is some talk that she may have been a sex worker, but I'm not really sure. But it's just kind of one of those things where there's people who are less dead.
Yeah,
they're less,
I know, right?
Marketable to the media or whatever. Like,
I know, that is so sickening when they put commercial value on the case, right? That's just like, oh no.
That's what makes me angry.
So yeah, exactly. That's it. I hope that was a good answer there for you, Lyndon. That would make us all angry, am I right? Yes. So Claire asks, what does Alicia think of the Madeleine McCann case?
I do know that one. That one I can provide an opinion about. Yeah. I do think that so they're thinking it could be that German guy, right? And I'm definitely leaning towards him. Yeah,
that was an interesting. I also saw that and I'm like, okay, probably him. Probably. I mean, the family seems pretty suspicious, but they might just be protecting their reputation or something. Yeah. Ooh, but that other guy, I know, right?
Yes, so, because a lot of people, I think that her parents were involved in maybe. I can form like a facile opinion, but when I'm like, I'm going to give you my real opinion. I'm like, I've got to go down a rabbit hole. I've got to find all the facts.
Yeah, and that does seem like the most likely outcome. I think people almost wanted to be the parents at this point. You know what I mean? When it's like, ooh, this could be it because it would be so hectic. But that German guy, it just really seems like it could be him.
Yeah. He seems not right, and it seems like he was in the area at the time.
Definitely. So we've got Marja from also the Netherlands. Hello, lovely woman. Love from the Netherlands. Yes, Marja, you're here with me. Yeah, love from the Netherlands to Sydney, to you. Yeah, Debbie also said hello. All right, so let's see. So I see your amazing content on TikTok. When did that adventure start, and do you enjoy it?
I do actually enjoy it. I wasn't sure at first because, like I said, being 35, it's kind of like grandma TikTok. But then as I'm scrolling, I'm like, I saw this cute little 72-year-old lady, and like, there are older creators on there. So I'm like, okay. Because at first I'm like, I feel like a grandma in here. This is bizarre, but
no, I think the more you scroll, you'll see there's a lot of us old people.
Yes.
And like I say, Mr. Bolin, your content, we all love Mr. Bolin over here. I think Debbie and I are like Mr. Bolin fans, and your content just reminds us of that. It's just so brilliant. So I think you're going to make it huge on TikTok. So please keep going with it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. Love all the edits and everything you do. I like that one where you like do this, where you like scroll in and out, 1, 2, 3. It was so cool. Love that one.
Fun.
Let's see. So Claire says, what does Alicia think of the Watts case? Yeah.
That's one. If we want to talk about one that's gonna make me mad, that one definitely makes me mad.
Carve it up, man. Go get him, Tiger. That one is so. I know, right? Oh my word, that case. Right. That's why also we talked about it kind of been on this channel because we're just like, makes us so mad. It was just unnecessary, totally unnecessary. Like seriously, no crimes are necessary, but that was like seriously unnecessary.
Yes, because like. Okay, if you go and get a mistress and you want to pursue the relationship, just do it. Divorces exist.
Yeah, do it, dude. Oh my word, that guy.
And then he blamed her for the kids. Oh, I had to kill her. She killed the kids. No, she didn't. No. The cops weren't buying it. I loved when like the lie detector provider, when technician came in. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, well, you know what? I kind of just don't believe you. So
well, I think that was Tammy, right? She was so good. Oh my word, ripped that dude apart. Did he?
Exactly.
That was so good. I'm just trying to see what Candy Green Gonzalez case from Kentucky here in the U.S. is just like the lady there. Police may be covering up what is going on in the tomb. Interesting. We'll have to do a little Google. Gotta take some notes. I'll look afterwards on the live chat replay. Go and Google all these things, right?
That might be some material. I might have to dive into that one.
Yeah, Candy Green Gonzalez. It sounds very interesting. Okay, Debbie got a question for you at 6:30 a.m. Alicia, what is the most challenging about getting your podcast episodes out?
I think so there were a couple of things. My snafus lately were more technical issues than anything else. So I had a problem. So the other night I had to record an episode 3 times because I'd record it and then I'd listen back and there was all this static and then it would do this robotic thing and I'm like, is it my microphone? Is it what is causing this drama?
We call that mob voice. So it does happen. I don't know why either. There's this like static mob voice. What is that?
Well, because I record on my phone, I found out it was the Rode app that goes along, because usually Rode, like, they make really good products, like the microphones are great, but it was their app, so don't use that. So I used GarageBand the third time, and that seemed to be a massive improvement. So that was something that was a trouble getting stuff out.
Damn, but 3 times, you got some stamina there. I know Debbie also does that sometimes. Like, record, listen back, re-record. Same, right? It happens to us. But okay, technical ones, that's probably the most challenging. And I'm assuming the consistency, right? I think we're all a little bit addicted, to consistency, because we want to provide that, because that's how the game works.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. So that could be hard sometimes, right? With like life events, things that happen.
Yes. And then you go into a case and you want to kind of learn everything that you can learn. And then you think, how do I go? What's the angle or the outline, or like, how do I approach this case? Do I approach it in a linear kind of timeline, or the film noir construction where everything's awful right at the beginning and then you work your way backwards, or what?
Oh, yeah, exactly. See, Debbie says, Mr. Ballin. CIU is carve it up. Ooh.
Carve it up.
Carve it up, everybody. So frustrating, mob voice. See, David's laughing at mob voice. It happens to the best of us. So Lyndon says, if Alicia could solve one unsolved crime, which one would it be?
It's hard to pick, but I would love to solve the Black Dahlia.
Oh, yeah,
I would love to know what happened there.
For quite a number of years now, you've wanted to know, right?
Yes.
Since you were 12, like, what is going on here?
What is this? I'm like, she's cut in half. I don't get it. Literally. Why did they do the Glasgow smile? Like, what? It just blew my little mind.
Yeah. That would be a good one to just get some peace on, right? To solve.
Yes.
So Debbie forgets to press the record button. Debbie says, for 3 hours. Herself and Lyndon did a collab once, and they recorded this whole thing, I think, for an hour or two, and then realized they weren't recording it. Did it again. Similar problem, and one more time. So like, damn, they also got stamina.
Oh no, yeah, that's
right. So okay, whatever got here. Oh yeah,
carve it
what?
Up.
Yeah, carve it up. Carve it up, girl. What's the one thing you wish you had known when you started your true crime adventure?
Oh, that's a really good question. What's one thing that I wish I'd known? Ooh, I might have to think about that and get back to you, because I'm not
yeah. No problem. You think about it. For me, I think I wish I'd known that it was like so many beautiful people in it, that you're not alone in it, because I think we all feel like it's this weird little thing we all have on our own.
Yeah.
But it's such a massive, wonderful community in general.
Yes.
It
is. You wouldn't think that you'd meet so many nice people.
Yeah. But some of the nicest people, honestly, that I've met on social media. Yeah. All right. So what advice would you give to someone wanting to create their own true crime podcast?
I think one of the main things is, because there are a lot of us, is probably find a niche. So when you're going into it, you could just say, I'm doing a true crime podcast. Or you could say, I'm doing a true crime podcast and I do an accompanying recipe, or some kind of niche.
Oh, yeah.
I think that helps to differentiate you. And it kind of helps to guide the way that maybe you look at the case too. Yeah. But I think in general, it's good to have a niche in a really saturated market.
Yeah. There's room for everyone, but make sure to find a niche. A niche will certainly help you stand out. That's for sure. So how would you describe your niche?
See, that's, at first, our niche was, we're keeping our friendship alive from opposite sides of the planet.
Yeah.
But now, I totally don't blame her, and it's been totally cool to do it on my own. So I've been finding my way, and I think moving forward, I really want to focus on kind of a community vibe and a helpfulness vibe. So what can I do to actually help? So one thing that I want to do moving forward, and if anybody is in law enforcement or forensics, I'm putting the call out, because I want to do once a month, do an interview with somebody who works in law enforcement or forensics, and share. If they can't share about their cases, I understand, but just kind of what you do on a daily basis, what you experience, how you got into the field, the study that you did, because people who are maybe interested then can pursue these careers.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then I'd like to do an unsolved case every month too, so that way, shed light on the unsolved cases.
That would be amazing.
So that's kind of that's the niche I've been working on moving forward, is really focus on helpfulness.
I like it. That is awesome. That is a great motive, a great niche, and a really good tip for anyone wanting to start a true crime podcast. What is murder at bedtime? Lyndon says, I think most Brits would like to solve the Madeleine McCann, but for me, it's Susie. I wish I could say that. Lampla.
Yeah, is it? I heard this because who covered this? Is it Susie Lamplugh? Was that
Lamplugh? That's probably how you say Lamplugh. That's such a surname. Again, I need to read into these.
I'm trying to think of the details of that because I know I listened to a podcast about it, but now it's escaping me. But I as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, because the name is so unusual.
Yeah, it is. I've never heard that surname before. Lamplugh. Gonna look into that as well. What does Dorothy say? My family says I get into crime too much. Well, I think all our families say that, right?
Yes.
All of us in this community are like, what are you, the families, what are you doing?
Yes,
I don't want to hear about murder.
No, my parents, neither one of them listen because they're not. My mom's like, I'm going to have nightmares. I can't sleep. I can't listen to this.
Yeah, don't tell me anything about it. But then if you have like really cool facts, don't you find yourself really wanting to share that?
Yeah.
Guess what I read today? And they're like, I don't want to know.
Yes, because especially like I just did back-to-back Sydney cases. So then I knew my husband would know them because Roger Rogerson, the detective who is now in prison, he's notorious. Everybody knows who he is in Sydney and Australia-wide. But so I was like, hey, babe, guess what case I'm covering? I need to tell you stuff.
Yeah, I need to tell you everything about this. What do you think? And they're like,
No,
my husband too is like, just I don't really want to know.
Enjoy that, but enjoy it over there.
Yeah, enjoy it over there. Exactly. Ooh, okay. So does Alicia have any cases recommend for me to watch? Like any cases you would recommend? You mean like on YouTube, right, Claire? Or anywhere, I guess Netflix.
I'm trying to think. What have I watched recently that was really good? Of course, since we're talking about, I'm sure Claire's already seen it, but you can't go past American Murder. That's such, I loved how much Shanann documented their daily life.
Right. Yeah.
Because it made you really feel like you were involved.
I know, even now, when you her stuff obviously pops up on my feed a lot. And when you see it, it feels like she's still there. It's so hectic. She has so much content online. So yeah.
That was a goodie. I'm trying to think of other goodies. What have I seen lately that was really good? Oh, the Alison Bota. She made a documentary.
And that was good. That was good.
It was so good. And it's only, you can rent it for like $1.99 or something on YouTube, on Amazon. That was so good.
Yeah. So that's a good recommendation, Claire. If you haven't read into that case or watched that would be a good one. Yes. From South Africa, man. That's where I'm from. I'm amazed how she's recovered because it's a very dangerous country.
Yes.
And like things can happen all the time. So the PTSD must be so high.
I can't believe her. How, and even like her neck, like the surgeons just did such a good job. Because
I know, right?
So good.
My goodness. Right. So the Claire, that would be the answer, I would say. Go check that out somewhere.
Check that out for sure.
Alrighty, so Lyndon says, yes, it is Elisha. She was an estate agent. She went to meet a Mr. Kipper at a house viewing and was never seen again. Oh, damn.
Yeah, I am. That's starting to click in my mind. I know I listened to a podcast, but I can't remember who covered it.
Yeah. It happens sometimes.
I thought it was maybe Case File or maybe
They're good as well, yeah.
I know I did.
Yeah. So we'll check it out again. So what are some of your favorite true crime podcasts? This is I know this question is like, how do you narrow this down? But like your weekly go-tos, because obviously you research a lot yourself and you make your episodes. But if you're going to go for a walk or listen to podcasts, what are some of your favorites?
At the moment, I am loving Sinister Hood. Have you listened to Sinister Hood?
I haven't listened to Sinister Hood. Anyone else? No. Okay. I've got to check that out immediately.
Yes. Yeah. Sinister Hood's really good. There's two, I think they have background in improv comedy. And then one of them was a lawyer, but I think they're doing so well. They're killing it.
Wow. Okay.
She just quit her job as a lawyer.
Damn. Okay.
To be a podcaster. But they're really funny. They have the balance of, they're both hilarious.
Yeah.
But then they're also really considerate of the victims, and they definitely get really passionate about the cases. Like they have that balance.
That is awesome. I love that balance. Like, because you don't want to be too humorous that you're disrespecting victims.
Yes.
But we definitely want to poke fun at the freaking killers and them not being hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
I find it hard. So I tend to go serious. Even like the other day I was editing the episode and I said something. And then I'm like, that's tacky. Get rid of that. Just because you don't want to laugh at too much stuff. I think it was it was something silly. It was like the two profilers flew in to assess the scene. And I was like, I know that took me from 6 to midnight too. I made like a boner thing.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, it's a crime scene. Like, cut that out, girl.
Cut that one out. We'll keep that for ourselves. It happens. Yep. So what Lyndon's saying, it's unusual here, but I've watched a few in the USA. Wait, what are we talking about? Oh yeah, the real estate agent cases. Yep.
Yeah, because there was another one. She didn't go missing, so that's different. But the what is her name? She was in Canada. And she went to she was supposed to be showing the house.
Yeah.
And her boyfriend was supposed to meet her, but he was running late. And then when he arrived, he couldn't get a hold of her. And then I'm trying to think of her name. I can't think of her name. I know it was in Canada. I think it was a little island in Canada.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Real estate agents, dodgy. No, not all of them. They are dodgy. No, not all of them.
If you're a real estate agent, always have somebody with you.
Yes, please. Yeah, exactly. So let's see what else I got here. We're still good on time. We're still good. There's no rush though. We can work through the questions people can ask us, unless you're in a rush at all.
Not at all.
Okay, cool. Saturday night for you.
This is my party time. We're in lockdown, so this is like this is a party for me.
This is literally a party. I agree. We should have these more.
I'm kind of an old person, so I like to potter around the house. So this is a party for me anytime.
Ultimate homebody party, am I right? There's cats. Yes. There's people right here with us.
There's plants. There's everything you want.
Everything we'd ever want, right?
Yeah.
Just got to get the cocktails going.
Yeah.
It's a little bit early for me. Almost there. 1:00.
Yeah.
So we kind of sort of touched on this earlier, but does your husband enjoy true crime at all? And do you still tell him about it? Some of the cases?
He is definitely not a true crime person. For sure.
Yeah.
Just like your husband's not either.
Yeah, no, he's just like, Like, and I can't help it. We go and walks in the forest and I'm like, can you believe what this and this, especially with Chris Watts, if I get going on that. And he's just like, I don't really want to know this.
No.
Like, so can you believe that Jeffrey Dahmer, what he did is like, again, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Just can't shut up. But yeah, he's definitely not a true crimer either.
No.
It's probably good though for us, right? To be married to people who aren't so into the same thing. That would be really dark, I guess.
Yes. Then maybe you go down too many rabbit holes. So you've got somebody who's always pulling you out. Yeah,
exactly. So Lyndon says, since Susie's case in the 80s, female estate agents have to be accompanied on showings. Okay, that's cool.
That's good.
In the UK, right? I hope it's worldwide. That would be amazing. Okay, let's see. How many questions? Okay, yeah, no. I'm like, how many pages did I write down? Done these questions for you. What do you say to people who think talking about true crime is gross or dark or weird? You know, those people, if it's like, what do you do? What's your podcast about? And they're like, ew. Or they get scared of you. Like, what do you say to people like that?
I would probably say there's so much that you can learn about humanity. I mean, not that you necessarily want to learn it, but there's a lot of things that you can learn to avoid. Like, for example, the real estate agent thing. Like, if you're a real estate agent, don't show. And one thing that I actually forgot about, but like diving into true crime a lot reminded me, I would just get in my car and go, and I wouldn't lock the doors the second I got in the car. And I need to be better about that.
Yep. Lock your damn doors, right?
Because I do it at home and I check and make sure they're locked numerous times throughout the night just to have that, satisfaction.
And if like a car is following you home, if you notice it, like don't pull into your home, like keep going, take a long drive, pull over. Like when Rick was on my show 2 days ago, whatever, he's like, if I see a car following me, I pull over and then I follow them for a while. That was a new one, but I mean, he's a detective. So
yeah.
I don't think I'm going to do that strategy, but yeah, definitely just to be situationally aware, right?
Yeah.
Because some people go like, they gasp, like literally. I had a lady gasping and like, what, you do what? And I'm like, I'm not a serial killer. Like I study these people because they're part of society.
Yeah.
Right? Safety check, safety conscious.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Lyndon, I know you're still waiting for your troll. Okay, we will send them to you. But have you ever had a bad review that made you laugh? This is for you, Alicia.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So recently, the only bad written review, I've got a few ratings that aren't good, which is fair enough. I'm not for
Yeah.
everybody. But the only comment was vocal fry for days. And it's like, I can't do anything about my voice.
What? That is
There's
ridiculous.
nothing I can do. I could understand if you're like, okay, just get to the point. Stop talking about this. I don't like how you tell this story.
Yeah,
You told
yeah.
this out of order. You missed this. Like, there are things but your voice, like, there's nothing I can do.
Right? That is so ridiculous and so not true, though. You have an amazing voice.
Oh,
love listening to your podcast. I'm sure everyone here too. I mean, that is just literally trolling.
Or just like I can understand if you're like, you know what, I really hate the way you tell a story, or like I think you miss these details that I wish you would get. Like that is constructive feedback.
Yes,
but just,
yes.
You have vocal fry.
No. But please send that person to Lyndon because he's dying for some trolls.
And
on his podcast, he literally asks for like trolling or bad reviews so he can read it out. And he's like, where are they? So like this would be amazing.
I couldn't do that to you, Lyndon. I thought about it and then I'm like, no, I'll just go and leave a good one.
But it is a good strategy to be like, well, you know what? If you troll me, I will read it. That is also a good strategy. Right?
I probably get more like trolling type of stuff on social media than I do. That's the only like written review that I've had.
Okay. Let's see. Gisela, I'm saying, why am I saying my own name wrong? I'm like Gisela. Moving right on. Gisela and Alicia ever studied the case about the man who kidnapped his daughter, locked her in a basement under a house for a few years? Yes, Joseph Fritzl. Ever studied that case? Ooh, that's one that can suck me right in.
Yes, I read a few articles because I remember when it happened, and I'm like, this is so weird. And then it was for a year. He kept her in the basement for years, and then I'm like, how did the wife not know? But it was like a soundproof room, and
that he planned for like over a decade, I think. He like literally meticulously planned. That was so sickening, that case. I'm going to cover that one day because that is Joseph Fritzl gets me every time, right?
And she had a few kids down there with her, didn't she?
Yep, she did. And I mean, that's essentially how she got out, because one of the kids got super sick. And then when they all came out, what's so scary, they were all like transparent just about, because they'd never ever seen the sun or the outside. What I find amazing is that they went to like mental health facilities, right? But now they're like free and out in the world. Like, how can you expect people like that to live normally? Like now they're living normal lives. They need lots of care. Yeah, it would be so scary to recover from that trauma. Is just wow. So, okay, so you got the name, Claire, Joseph Fritzl. Yes, please cover it. I will be doing that because that one it's on my list. It's like, Joseph Fritzl. It's one of those. If you bring it up, I'll be like, oh no. So right now I got to shut up about it.
Yes.
Because I'm like, you got me going on that. Okay, closing down that topic for now. So what was your favorite subject in school?
Oh, I think for me, definitely the teacher made a big difference. So one subject I really enjoyed was German, and I loved my German teacher, Frau Schade, because she was this tiny little German lady, and she had all this energy. She was so much bigger than she was because she was just huge. So that I loved, and then art. I loved art too, and my art teacher. Well, I loved art anyway because I'd been painting and drawing since I was a kid. But then Bart Inwood was my art teacher, and he was just the most lovely man, and he was a hippie.
Oh no, that's so cool. As an art teacher, that's awesome.
So I remember he was doing all these blacklight paintings when I was at school, and he was just the coolest person.
Oh my word, we'd love to see some of your art sometime.
Oh yeah.
Also, what am I doing? I've got this prepared and didn't put it on. There you go. Dead on podcast.
Wow.
I just realized, why is it not on there? Yeah. I wanted to surprise you with it and I'm leaving it till too late. So that's the logo, guys, the cover art. Go find it. The link is in the description box, right?
Hi, sweetie. My husband just looked. I think he was wondering.
Does he want to talk true crime with us?
We're on the live stream.
Oh, no.
He's like, what? Welcome. Come talk to us about true crime.
He's like, I'm good. And then he immediately disappeared.
Bail out and like, oh, my bad. Well, he made a small appearance. That was amazing, right?
He did.
Yeah, hello. So would you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
I think I am an ambivert because
nice.
I really enjoy being around people, but then I
Okay.
also charge my batteries with some of my quality alone time too. Because I love being around people. But
Okay. Yeah.
I still need a little bit of alone time to read a book or potter in the garden. That's definitely one of my big Zen recharging batteries things.
Exactly. Very, very important, right? Wasn't he Austrian? Yes, he was Austrian, Joseph Fritzl. Yeah, hello, Alicia's husband. Claire, I know you want to tell him to carve it up. Go get him, Tiger, carve it up. Yeah, carve it up, husband.
I'll say it to him and he'll be like, what? What is that?
Yeah, like, yeah, apparently everyone's starting to say it in their lives. Like, just carve it up. One lady was saying it in a dance class the other day. She's a dance teacher, and she's like, listen, everybody, carve it up. Oh no, we never knew Chris Watts could say something that would stick with us. Honestly, we didn't plan that, but yeah, it's just so ridiculous. My goodness, did you see that one where Casey Anthony had a drink spilled on her, and then she called the police immediately? Like, and then the one guy said, "Go get him, Tiger." That's why we say that as well now. But it's like you call the police immediately, but when your daughter goes missing, there's no reason to call.
No.
Wow.
She's just with Zanny the nanny. AKA.
Yeah, Zanny the nanny. So creative, right? It was a very creative name. Zanny the nanny, you know, that other lady. Yeah, right. But for real, like, I know I'm coming back to this, but art, if you ever want to show me your art or you put it on your page, I'm sure people love that. Oh my word. I love art too.
I need to do more art because I haven't. The last thing that I properly did.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be doing, and it's probably 75% finished, but I was doing a portrait of my friend's son. And now he's 11. And at the time when I started it, I think he was like 5 or 6. So that's pretty hopeless.
It'll still be good and sentimental, right? But I get it. Yeah. I was like, what? Yes. Let me just see. Oh, they're still talking about Joseph Fritzl. I think that's cool. That's cool. You keep going. Do you find yourself being more safety conscious in public and spotting red flags in the general public? And does it cause you any anxiety?
I definitely do pay more attention to what people are doing. And if I pass somebody, like if I'm on a walk and I pass somebody, like I'll kind of keep looking over my shoulder just to see where they're at.
Yeah.
So I do, but I don't feel like it gives me anxiety though, because I feel empowered by the act of just like checking the doors. Like it doesn't give me anxiety to like I'll check the doors multiple times throughout the night before I go to bed. I'm like, is it locked? Yes, it's locked. Is it locked? Yes, it's locked. Makes me feel empowered more than anxious, if that makes sense.
Okay, well, I like that take on it actually. Gotta learn me some of that because I'm like, I know too much and it gives me so much anxiety in the grocery store. Creepy man, I've spotted you, serial killer.
There's just definitely some creeps in the grocery.
There's so many creeps in the grocery store. I saw one yesterday, a guy that was walking that was holding a tree or a bush he just plucked out of the ground. But he literally had, like, his face was carved up, people. Like, he had scars. He looked like the freaking mob, and he was just carrying this bush and walking, all dressed in black. It was so weird.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard no for me.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, damn. Luckily, I was on my bike. I just cycled right past him.
Yes.
Right. So, so do you have any safety advice based on all of your research that you would give to your younger self or to others?
I think definitely one major thing, if you, especially, not that I have any experience with the whole dating app thing, because I 2009, but one thing that I've noticed, and I think most people already do this, so it's not really special advice, but definitely meet somebody in public. Don't let them drive you anywhere. Go and meet them there with your own car or your own Uber or your own whatever. And tell people where you're going, how long you'll be there.
Yeah, tell somebody.
A picture or something.
Right.
Person's name.
Yeah, this is who I'm with. This is where I'm going. Exactly. That is actually good advice. I don't think it's like cliched advice at all, because there's so many people still obviously on dating apps and all over the place. OnlyFans, you know. There's a lot of horror stories there.
Yeah.
Oh my word, if you've looked at these OnlyFans horror stories, it's like a thing on YouTube. Like, there are murders involved. There are things that have just, there's like, you know, when they talk about Netflix murders or they talk about, I don't know, TikTok murders, that's a thing too. But like now there's OnlyFans ones too. It's so scary.
What happens? Do people just get obsessed with the creator? And then...
they get obsessed and stalk and go to their house, find their location. Literally while they're live streaming, they're in their house or something. Oh my word. It's so scary.
So scary.
Yeah. So what does Lyndon say? Is there any British case that you might cover in the future?
Yes. So one I did recently was the James Hanratty case. James Hanratty? I think that's his name. Why am I blanking? I did that one recently, but what other British one should I do?
Yes.
I'll have to think of one.
Yeah, Lyndon, anyone you want to recommend? You go ahead, recommend some cases. I mean, recommends are always welcome, right?
Yes, we love.
Yep. So Dorothy says, I'm the same way. Dorothy, you mean like me, like super anxious, like creepy everywhere, or like empowered? I like the empowered way. I'm going to try to look at it like that from now on. Like I know, and therefore I do, and I'm protected.
Yes.
Right?
I'm taking control. I'm locking this door. Nobody's coming through this door because I locked it.
That's it. I love that. That's going to be useful for my mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just shut down. When I see creepy, I'm like, oh, you're so creepy right now. Run for your life.
The one creepy thing that happened, it's probably been 6 months or something, but I was taking a walk and I had my earbuds in because I always do. And I know that people say don't listen to music, but I do anyway.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I've fallen down on the job about. And this lady was running. I saw her run off ahead of me because I was just walking. And then she comes back and she comes up to me and she said, there's a guy over on the football oval and he's yelling. And I'm like, ew. So then we were both on the bike path and then we veered. Because the bike path runs through the neighborhood, we could just veer up onto the sidewalk. And then there were a couple of other ladies walking. So we kind of we didn't really say that much to each other, but we just organically bunched together and then started
I love
walking.
that. That is so nice, though, to have more people that would bunch together. I need to have that experience, too, actually. Come over here. There's a creeper over there.
It was so nice that she warned me because once you get, because the way that it's set up, like the bike path veers near the sidewalk, and then when it goes around the football oval, it kind of like goes into the trees and all the way around the football oval. So that guy was kind of yelling near the goalpost. So you'd have to go one way or the other. Or,
no,
wouldn't have been good.
Oh no good. No crazies out there. Oh no, it's yelling from the field, yelling at ladies from the field.
He was screaming like curse words, and he wasn't really yelling at anyone. I couldn't tell if he was on the phone. He was just screaming so loud standing in the football oval. And we're like,
no, that's so freaking weird. He's probably on something, right?
He had to have been, because why did you do that?
Yeah, why? That's the thing. I can't believe sometimes. I struggle with that when you see something, you're like, why would you behave like that?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
What happened to you? Why?
Yeah, seriously, why? Right?
What neuron misfiring led to
that? Yeah, a couple of them are misfiring. Any other questions from anyone? I've asked all my questions. Damn it. Any other questions from anyone? Case recommends? Any questions you have for anyone? Or anything you want to say? Or any story you want to tell?
Oh, a story I want to tell. Oh goodness. Well, I'll just briefly mention this because this was something that I covered recently. So
yeah,
there was a girl who lived here in Sydney and I'd seen her around.
Yeah.
And one of my neighbors, he's like this cute little middle-aged guy.
Yeah.
And he said, did you hear about what happened to Nicole? And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know Nicole. But then he described her. And I said, oh, yeah, I've seen her around. I've never spoken to her, but.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, she just got murdered and her body was found in a park at Hunter's Hill. And he's a bit of a murderino, too, because he was, I think he worked in the military police. I think he was in the Navy and he was like military police in the Navy. So he he comes by the love of true crime, honestly. So he's always got all the goss. But that was a local one to me. And it's just weird because it's like this, the thing that I always noticed about her, she had really funky style. So she'd cut her hair really short and then dye it like a fun color. And then she'd wear like a hat that had like an animal face on it, but then she'd be wearing all black. She was just kind of one of those people who was free spirited. And then she was just gone. And you're like, she was my age. Like she was just like a few months younger than me. So and it really hits you because you're like, I saw her recently.
Right.
And now she's gone.
Oh, that is so hectic when you've known someone or even just see her around, right? Or any victim, him, her, whatever. That is so scary. Oh my word.
So I mean, all the cases I hate to hear that it happens to people. Yeah. And I hate thinking that these people will die alone. And I mean, the whole thing was horrible, that they met on a dating app and then he killed her on her birthday.
What? No. Oh no. So it's someone that knew her, right?
I think they just met on the app, and I don't know if they'd seen each other before or that was the first time that they met, but it's like on her birthday, like that just makes it
this is just enraging, right? Oh my word. Yes. That is terrible.
That case felt a little bit raw, so I'm like, I'll put that one on Patreon so it's not just like all the way out there.
Yeah. Patreon, remember, check it out, right? So Dorothy says, I dislike the creepers. Yeah, us too, right?
Seriously, me too, Dorothy. My husband and I were at the chemist. That was a few years ago, but I remember I was looking at shampoo. I was in a section that was well and truly really only the ladies would be in, and there was this older guy following me around, and I was kind of like going to different sections, but then he was following me to sections nobody would have gone, and my husband's like watching him do it, and he's over there laughing his ass off, and I'm like, why is this weird man following me?
He's probably gonna ask you a shoe size at some point.
Do you have a sock I can sniff?
Yeah, got a snack. Oh no. And Claire says, Alicia, say to your husband, carve it up. I'm sure Alicia will, right?
I will do that. I was just gonna yell, but that wouldn't be nice for the recording.
Yeah, so carve it up.
But I'll tell him later.
Yeah, later he's going to hear if I carve it up. So Lyndon says, just want to thank Alicia for being on. I hope it didn't show too much that I'm a dead-on groupie. Oh, you got a stalker. Lyndon, I know you want stalkers. I'm your stalker, but you got a stalker, Alicia.
Well,
no, a super fan.
I like watching his YouTube. Slightly, I'm a little bit slack because I don't get to recreationally watch stuff or listen to stuff as much as I would like, because I'm like, oh, I should be listening to a podcast about this case, even if I'm just like on a walk or something, just so that way I've kind of got it in my head. So but I've definitely watched his YouTubes and I love it.
That is difficult though, that balance, right, of doing the research for your own stuff, but then also consuming stuff, and people are like, check this and this and this, like, how do you keep up? I wish I had some clones.
Today I needed to, because I finished editing. Well, I still need to do another pass over it, but I did the bulk of the editing and I finished it at like 2 a.m. last night. So today I'm like, I'm listening to music. I'm not having crime.
Oh, yes. Nice. Yeah. Day off from that, right? Exactly. That is awesome. Let's see. Elisha, I know that case. They met on Tinder. He pushed her on the roof, right?
Yes. Warrior Night. That one. That was a different. Yeah, that was a different one even to that, which is, it's horrible that there's this many cases.
Oh man, the Tinder stories, Tinder, Grindr, whatever else they got. I don't know, all kinds of apps.
That one was, so the guy who, well, he says that she fell, and he has like a recording, but there's a guy, he's changed his name, and to be clear, I don't think he was charged or he wasn't found guilty. I kind of like, read news about it, but I'm not like as up on the case. But yeah, I know which one she's talking about. I think that's Gable Tosti and Warrior.
Absolutely infuriating stuff, right? I'm always amazed how people can lie. Like literally, I know I shouldn't be amazed, but killers and they just lie. Like so, try to lie with such a straight face. They just have no shame at all. Wow.
Here's a question I've got for everybody, and I'm going to use a specific example to prove my point, because I was thinking about this already, because I was going to make this as a piece of social content for this week. Do you think that murderers are actually compelled and they have to do it, or do they have a choice? Like, is there something in their brain where they're like, I cannot stop, I'm going to do this? Because, for example, the weepy voice killer, I had to do it. When he called, he said, I couldn't help it. I don't believe you, first of all. But what does everybody else think?
What do you guys think? I'm on your page though. I think it's a choice. I think even if they've had major trauma, whatever, there's always a fork in the road where they choose. This is what I'm going to do from now on. Yeah, but I don't think it's a compulsion, basically, right? Even Jeffrey Dahmer was like, I just couldn't help. It's such a compulsion. I don't think so. I think he chose quite nicely. Does Alicia have a YouTube channel?
I do, but I don't do a lot there, and I'm really sorry that I don't do a lot there. I would love to down the track.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking maybe I could record the episodes as I'm filming the podcast episodes and then have the video too. But the only trouble is editing that on top of it. Cause I'm like,
I know, right?
I'm falling a little bit behind. So I have like a little bit of anxiety. I really need to get one case done, recorded, and finished next week, and at least write all of the other ones. So I'm like, I don't know. I have a YouTube channel, and here's what I do on my YouTube channel. It's not very interesting. So all the videos that I find when I'm researching, I'll put on a playlist, and then I put a little sneak peek on my YouTube of the episode. Yeah. Mostly because I put it on my episode webpage. So I like to have little sound bites so people can preview.
Yeah, those are so awesome. Yeah.
So my YouTube's not very good. I'm going to be honest with you.
But go check it out anyway. Is it still called Dead on YouTube? I'm gonna go subscribe in any case and check out the playlist. I mean, find some interesting stuff there. We all have cases in common and things we want to check out. So definitely check that out. But I would recommend
listen to the episode and they're like, what does this person look like? What does this person sound like? And then they want to see the video and things that I reference. I'm like, I'll put it on there, and then so you can go
exactly
look at the playlist.
Right. Yeah, go look at the playlist. Here it is. But I would recommend, if you're going to be interviewing law enforcement people and things like that, which I'm also getting into now, this StreamYard thing it makes it so easy. If you especially paid for the $20 per month one, I use the free version. That's why the duck is always there. But if you did pay for it, you could literally live stream and interview a guest, and then it saves the audio, which you can publish as a podcast episode or edit afterwards. So that's like super an efficient way of doing it. Because I know, like, YouTube video editing, it's like it's too much time on top of everything else.
Yes, but the I mean, that would be good, and then I can polish it and do a episode. That's a really good idea.
Because I know that's how Police Off the Cuff does it. That podcast, they've got a YouTube channel. They save the audio and they put the audio on all the podcasting platforms. So it's like, damn, one bit of work, 1 hour of live stream with cool guests and everything. A ton of content everywhere. Like, damn, they're killing it.
They are definitely killing it. That's working smarter and not harder, which is what I'm trying to do, because I tend to work harder. Like, that's how my brain's
right.
Like, I have to do all of these things, and it's like, calm down. You don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to. Exactly. I struggle with that too. It's just like hitting my head against the wall kind of thing, doing like literally the upstream thing. And then these dudes show you, but you could just do this. This is so easy. And I'm like, come on. I wish I did that from the start.
Yeah. Why didn't you tell me about that earlier? Gosh.
Yeah, come on. So I would recommend StreamYard. It's not sponsored or anything. It's just so easy. It's a web-based one. You don't need something super powerful, super computer. You just web-based, interview-based, easy. You got the link. You saw it is. And then the audio is there for after. That's so cool.
That is amazing, because I did want to do more, but obviously when Em and I were doing it together, we were using Zoom, and then she was doing the audio. So it was kind of like my trial by fire. And then I'm like learning new things. And then every time I have to learn something new, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm setting myself up to learn this new thing. But now, like, you've kind of helped me, because you're like, here's StreamYard. Now you've used it. You're comfortable. Literally. Now.
And I was so scared before. And even the Police Off the Cuff guys were like, Gisela, I'm telling you, StreamYard. And I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever use it. And they're like, StreamYard. They just keep saying StreamYard. And I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. And it's actually so easy. Like, seriously, even if you're very tech savvy. I know Lyndon, it's super easy. I'm telling you, StreamYard or Restream. There's also one called Restream, but StreamYard is so easy. Yeah. It's so useful to have all the content afterwards, the video afterwards. I mean, once we do this, the video is available after for anyone to watch. I mean, that's useful. So it's like a live stream plus a video plus all the audio for everywhere. It's like just efficient.
That's so efficient.
So I think everyone is asking because they would love to see you on YouTube. Am I right, everyone?
Yeah, I know. I do want to do that.
It would be amazing. Yeah, but you can see Alicia a lot on TikTok. Love that. And Instagram. Your Instagram handle is also Dead On Podcast, right?
Mm-hmm. That's my marketing, my digital marketing brain, where I'm like, all the handles have to match.
Yeah. Yeah. They all got to match. Exactly. That's also a cool name when they can all match, right? That's so great.
Yeah.
Let's see what. Claire answered the question. No, murderers know exactly what they are doing. Exactly. So they choose. Exactly, Claire. They carve it up by choice.
They do. No,
literally make a choice and then pretend like, I couldn't help myself. Yeah, right. Okay.
Since we're bringing it back to carve it up guy. He's like, oh, I had to kill her because she killed the kids. It's like, no, you put in all this stuff. They're like, you lost all this weight. You got yourself a girlfriend. They had his number the second he walked in.
Literally, right? Like, oh no, oh, I know that will just drive us nuts, right? The rage be bubbling up. Let's say, what? I think it's okay. So Dorothy said, I think it's a want. Yes, so like a choice, like a want, and it's a power issue with them. Yeah, definitely a power issue. Got some insecurities. They're expressing get their power back in the worst kind of way.
Yes. So the episode that hasn't come out yet, and it won't come out for another 2 weeks, but I'm starting to research it. It's a guy named Peter Dupas, and he's he was down in Melbourne. So he's here in Australia, and he is a special case. I think I'm going to do a whole different format than I normally do, because he's got so many weird things going on. Because when he's got the classic escalation going on. So I'm like, I think I'm going to talk. Like, I'm going to introduce the crime that he did, and obviously the victim who he did it to, because I always want to focus on them. But then talk about, like, what does this mean? Like, and what is this? Because obviously he escalated, so he was doing different things along the way and experimenting. And he's the first crime that he did, he said, I couldn't help it, I had to do it. So I want to explore that, which is what had me thinking about that question.
Yeah.
And then another weird thing that he did, he removed breasts, and that
no, that just gets me when they do that. Why do they do this? It's just so hectic. Oh, word.
And I mean, because I knew there was another case, and I couldn't think of the case. Somebody removed a breast and put it in a woman's mouth. And I'm like, who did that? Does anybody remember who that was? Because I'm like, I know there have been.
I also know that one.
Yeah, because they said, like, looked, something was in her mouth. The detectives were like, something's in her mouth. What is that? And then they looked in her mouth. Man. It was like,
it's like coming back to me, but I can't remember exactly. Does anyone know who that was? I mean, I think the Hillside Stranglers did things a bit like that. The Toolbox Killers did things like that. Oh, they're just horrendous, right?
But do you think you could ever cover the Toy Box Killer?
I don't know. People are asking me to, but it's so horrendous. It is so. I mean, if I'm triggered by friggin' the Yorkshire Ripper, how am I going to do the Toolbox Killers? But maybe. I mean, those victims also deserve their story to be heard. But it is so bad. That is a very bad case, of course.
Yes.
And yourself, do you think you could? Oh, Toolbox Killers. Oh.
I don't know if I could. So here's the thing. So as a part of the Patreon, depending on the tier, the two upper tiers, you get to pick the case, and then obviously I froth about you in the episode. Like, it's like, great. You picked this case. I always blow up that my Patreon supporter picked the case.
Yeah.
So if somebody asked me to do it, I shouldn't open that Pandora's box. I'm never doing it.
Right.
No matter if you ask me, pick a different case.
I think we would do that on like Case Club. You know, we're doing this Case Club thing. I mean, we'd love you to be part of it. The time zones are just weird, right? You want to be on at 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
I think we do it at 11 p.m. my time, which is like, what? That's like 7 in the morning for you, right? Yeah.
Let me think. 11 p.m. your time. You're 8 hours behind.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, you're always welcome to join us there. But see, something like a case like that, which is too much for one person, I think in a group could be quite nice to do.
Yeah.
Then we like bounce ideas off each other and just harmonize and kind of console each other, right, while we're covering it. Because that was just, that case is hectic.
Yes. And is there another case where you're like, no, I'm not covering it, I can't do it? Do you have another one like that?
I'm going to think. Do you have another one like that? I'm thinking while you're thinking.
Well, one that M covered, I don't think I ever would have covered, was Martin Bryant and the Port Arthur Massacre.
Okay, yeah.
Which was an Australian one. It happened in Tasmania, and it was really one of the only kind of big, like, gun massacre cases here in Australia. I don't think I ever could have covered that, and I don't really know that I could cover really any of the big gun crime ones.
Oh yeah, those.
It's just so horrible.
It's true, right? You mean like also like the mass shooting ones, right? That is a whole rabbit hole. If you check this thing about incels, like that is a rabbit hole. Incels, wow, what a rabbit hole to discover that. And a lot of mass shooters are self-proclaimed incels, and I'm like, what? That is hectic. Their rage is out of control.
It's not right. Like, just go to therapy or like start gardening, or even if you don't want to go to therapy right away, like start a hobby that makes you happy. Like, you don't have to be miserable. You're
Right.
choosing to be miserable, just like those killers are choosing to kill people.
Exactly. And if you want to shoot, then carve it up in the backyard. Shoot something, but not people, for goodness sake, man. Yeah.
It's okay to have trauma. It's okay to have baggage. We all do at some point, but it's what you do with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Alicia Bota, she went through something horrible, and then look at her now.
I know, right? So that's the thing. When victims also recover, why aren't they serial killers if that's really what the recipe is? Right? Exactly. Exactly. Damn, I'm still thinking about a case I can't cover. I don't know. For me, sexual assault stuff is very triggering because I've had that happen in my past, and especially when it's people in authority. So, you know, when it's police officers or like someone who you should be able to trust. Ooh, no, I just, those get me too much. It actually unsettles my mind a little bit much, or those Stockholm Syndrome ones like that, stuff like that. Which is why I like the Fritzl one and those abduction ones. They fascinate me, but it might be a bit hectic to cover. Psychologically, yeah. See, Dorothy says she'd love to see you on YouTube. Yes, see?
I would love to be there. So down the track, I would love to outsource my editing. So I need to get to a point where I, relinquish like emotional control and creative control. Where I'm like, yes, somebody else can do it. And then, I once I can do that, then I will. And maybe even if, I do the StreamYard thing, because if, speaking to law enforcement, as you said.
Exactly, right? I got a couple I could pass on to you. Once you interview one of them. There's a whole bunch of them that are waiting in line that you didn't know about. Could definitely pass on some of those. I'm all about sharing. So any of the guests that are on here that you see, I mean, you're welcome to. I could pass on the details and everything. Get your StreamYard game on. YouTube murders are extremely hard to hear and watch, right? YouTube.
That's true.
Yeah, and child murders. Those get me. Same. Those are so terrible.
I have a hard time with cases involving kids.
Yeah. Definitely.
I don't know if George was on when I said this earlier, but the case that I covered, Kaisha Whipper, I've cried. I mean, I'm always crying when I'm researching, and I cry anyway. I'm so emotional.
Yeah.
That case, I was just weeping. Like, I'm just sobbing.
Yeah. Oh, man.
When we were recording.
Yeah. You understand the feeling. I was saying that some people were like, what? But like when I was writing some of the books, I literally sit there sobbing and writing the book. Like, it's just one of those things. It happens. These cases are horrendous. It would be kind of weird to be completely out of touch with them. I think it's totally normal to actually cry through all of this. It would be weird to be like, oh, right, I'm covering this cool case here.
Right. Like, this is fine. I'm not attached to this.
Not affected at all. Not attached. Yeah. Wow. No. I think you need some of that empathy there. Yeah. Any other questions, anyone? We can just about wrap it up. We've been going for a while. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, you're welcome back on the show any time. Like, literally, door is wide open.
Yay! Well, I'm having a blast. I'll come back whenever.
Party anytime. Yeah. Saturday night party anytime. And I mean, this time actually really works well. Like, with our time zone changes. I mean, it's 17 hours apart from California. It is 14 hours from New York difference, and for me 8 hours. But this kind of works, especially on the weekends. So if you guys want to see Alicia again, you just let me know. The door is wide open. It's a little creepy. It's a little spooky because it's got to be. It's true crime, but it's wide open. Yes. Alrighty. So I guess we could wrap it up now. Otherwise, we'll probably talk all day, which is fine.
Yes. Yeah, we probably would.
But one more time, just let everyone know where they can find you, on social media or on your website. Go ahead, plug your stuff.
So if you want to find me on my website, it's deadonpodcast.com. And you can find a list of everywhere you can listen on the Listen Now page, which makes it a little bit easier to find everything. And then you can find my social media channels there, or I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, although I'm horrible at Twitter. I go on there and I'm like, I don't know what I'm meant to be doing. And then
we all feel like that.
I'm just terrible. I don't do well. I'm pretty decent at Instagram, and I'm pretty good at TikTok, I think. And then everything else I'm a little bit hopeless at. But
I think the Twitter is not visual enough. Am I right? It's just not visual. It's like these little one-liners, and like, I just didn't get it either. Don't worry. You're part of the crowd over here. We feel the same. I think Lyndon's also offered now. I left it as well. I'm like, I just can't. I can't relate.
I have it there just because for the brand continuity, but I don't really go on there that much. But I'm at Dead On Podcast on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Is your I didn't ask this in the beginning. Is your full-time like job like in digital marketing? Am I right?
That is what I technically do, although I haven't taken on any other work, mostly because I can't at the moment.
Yeah. But a lot of times.
This is my goal down the track, and I might as well tell everybody because I'm stuck with it. But I want to marry the two. And I want to have my own podcast production house.
Ooh, I love that.
Where the talent comes to me, and then I can help them with their digital marketing, and I can help them with their production. And
love it. We're definitely rooting for you to do that.
Yeah.
And to be on YouTube.
Yes.
So Lyndon says, thanks, Alicia. He spelled it here later. Alicia, thanks for that, Lyndon. Thanks, Alicia. Great show. Dorothy says, have a great day, ladies. And Claire says, lovely to meet you, Alicia. And Claire says she's going to go follow you over on Instagram.
I'll follow you.
Yeah. She said here, I'm going to follow you on Instagram, Alicia, and carve it up.
Carve it up.
Carve it up, everybody. Thank you so much to everybody for being here at this odd time. That's not the normal time we do it, but we make it work. I think it worked really well. Thank you for everyone who watched now, who's going to watch it later as well. Please remember to interact with the video. Thumbs up if you love it. Thumbs down. You're entitled to it.
Yeah.
Vote how you choose. Leave some comments and go find Alicia on the website, on Patreon, and on Instagram, and definitely TikTok. You do a lot of cool things on TikTok.
Oh, thanks. It was
awesome.
So good to chat with everybody. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much. We all appreciate it so much, and we'll see Alicia one day again soon.
Yes.
All righty, everyone. Bye. Bye. Okay.